Capitol Hill High School in Oklahoma City has finally decided to drop its mascot, the Redskin. And of course, you can probably understand why they've done that. They have a Native American community there that is offended by it. About half of Americans find that mascot offensive. And so as a result, they decided, you know what, it's time for a change. But there are hundreds of students in the area that are protesting this because A, they disagree with it, and B, the school board didn't advise with them before they made this decision. So according to reports, most of the kids here, and this is according to the Capitol Hill High School official actually, most of the kids here are not happy about the change of the mascot due to the fact that it had been the mascot for 88 years, and having the mascot Redskins is not a derogatory term to most of us here. Being called a Redskin is what made us. It made us who we are. It made us students of Capitol Hill High, and it irritates us that we had no say in whether or not it should be changed. So that actually was a senior at the school. I thought we had a statement from an official. But yeah, they feel that since it's been a mascot for 88 years, it's part of their tradition, and it's not just Native Americans that are referred to Redskins. Everyone in that area is a Redskin. That's their reasoning behind it.
Yeah, when they said most of us aren't offended, because most of you aren't Native American. Like, that's not a valid argument.
Stop talking, you know, I'm tired of people being offended and us reacting to it. I don't give a shit whether people are offended. The question is something wrong? Like, people get offended all the time. You don't have a right not to be offended in this country. If you're offended, say something shitty back, right? That's how we deal with this. It's not, the issue here, is it right or is it wrong?
Yeah.
Like, and it's patently wrong. It's wrong like torture is wrong. Torture is worse. But that's what we're talking about here. You can't, there was no point in American history ever at any point where the term Redskin was noble, was used nobly or out of respect. That is just horseshit promulgated by the Washington football team, right? And obviously, the name wasn't then selected by some schools. But by the way, 88 years ago, it was selected because, look, we vanquished these people.
Right.
We killed them, and we took their, the term Redskin, by the way, isn't referred to the scalp. It refers to the dead Indian bodies left behind on the battlefield. We vanquished these people because we had guns and they didn't.
Is that really offensive, though?
Right, is that really that offensive? It's just, it's so incredibly lousy. It's so completely inhuman to take the people who you crushed and then use their name to go rah, rah, rah for. It's not up to you. If the Choctaw Nation wants to call its high school football team the Redskins,
that's their business.
They won't because it's ridiculous, but that's up to them. It's not up to the Capitol Hill High School.
I remembered my amazing point that's going to get everyone 18 and younger to hate me, and I'm fine with that.
Go amaze away.
They can't hate me for long. You don't get a vote.
Right, that's
You're
right. Yeah.
a high school student. You go to school, you do your activities, you do your work. If the administration wants to change the name of the mascot because it's offensive and it's hurting the people in your town, nobody gives a shit what you think.
Yeah.
I certainly don't.
Yeah, and also another thing that I kind of wanted to add to this conversation, I don't know, maybe it's because I was never really into team sports or anything like that, but I never really cared what my mascot was. Like, the mascot was irrelevant to me. I had school pride, I cared about my school. Even when I was in college, I didn't care what the mascot was, right? Like, the fact that students are getting so crazy about this that they want to take to the streets and they're protesting about a mascot.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, I don't understand that, but I'm in a different world because I'm not a sports person.
And to that end, we were the rebels, and I wasn't particularly comfortable with that. So that's the thing. I mean,
you're a conformist.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know. Like, but it has like negative connotations too. And it's not. It wasn't. I don't think they came by that name in a good way. So that's the thing. It's like, if you have something that's actually hurting the students, whatever, that's your right to speak out about it. But this is something they're doing because it's offensive and it's hurting the people in your community.
Yes.
So shut up and do your homework.
Now, just to be fair, the vote was 8-0. Right? Vote overwhelming. One of the American Indian supporters, Star Yellowfish, the district's administrator for American Indian Student Services, said, I was actually surprised about how well received it was. I thought I would have to spend a lot more time, do more education on our end to tell them about the word, but they get it. They got it. And they care about the kids. And they did it. He's like, I had a whole presentation, and they were like, no, we got to change the name.
That feels really good, especially coming out of Oklahoma City.
Yeah. So. And a bunch of students spoke that they should change the name. So it's not, not all the students. And Gina's right. Like, it's not up to you.
Yeah.
It's not up to you. Yeah. And So it's good. And what we also ultimately want to do here is isolate the Washington football team so that in 5 years, they're the only ones. And every time somebody else takes the name away, University of Miami at Ohio's already done it. I don't think there's another college in the country that has it now. But now it's but still a stunning number of high schools that have it. But, you know, as they peel off and leaving this hideous owner of Washington's football team, Dan Snyder, the worst owner in sports by far, the new Donald Sterling. Just leave this guy alone, leave him isolated as the only guy pretending with his nonsense made-up history of the word that it's somehow meant to honor the team, meant to honor the people when we know it is. And
real quick, you know, you gave yet your second impassioned speech of the second hour, which was lovely. I would even respect if they called, you know, a school, whatever, an assembly, and said, we've seen a lot of you are upset. You're organizing protests. We hear you. We understand you're angry. We've seen you. We've taken it in. We brought somebody in to explain why we're doing this, and then let Ben just rip for 15 minutes. Because seriously, I mean, when you put it like that, it's hard to let that sit well. I mean, that's not good.
How do you make an argument in favor of that mascot after hearing something?
Just also to call the mascot, bring in this star yellowfish, bring in other Native Americans, and explain, and then let the students work to help pick another name. You know, and don't let them pick one that's almost exactly the same. You know.